the first time I've done Zoom.
No, you're good.
It's such a different experience.
Yes. See, I feel like most of my podcasts have been this way. So I haven't really done any in person yet. I need a little studio like you guys have.
I sat down, all the lights were, and I can see myself, and I'm like, this is way more intimidating than the way we do it. Oh, it's nice to meet you. I'm Megan.
Nice to meet you. I'm Haley. And like, I feel like it's a full circle moment because like we were introduced like a year ago and then like we've texted a little through like group. And then now you have a podcast, I have a podcast, Lacey has one. So it's out of that group. We've all grown so much in a year.
And the thing is, Lacey's program was the very first program that I like signed up to do. I was like, I started listening to podcasts and I'm like, okay, I think I'm missing something here because I always was that cool owner that we would go to hair shows and that kind of stuff. But it wasn't until I started listening to podcasts that I realized there's a whole different world of this beauty industry. And I fell in love with it. So the way the algorithm works, Lacey's class came up because I was saying, we need to do assistant program. We need to do this. So her program came up. I jumped on it, didn't talk to Brad, my husband, or anything. I'm like, we need to do this.
What?
Okay, there. Now I can see you. And so that's how it started. And then I don't know. I just know that I didn't do anything. I just sat back. And that is not my personality at all. But I was like, I don't want to say anything because I didn't want to feel stupid. I was very intimidated by everything. And then you were just so nice and so sweet. And so then, yes, we've just been following each other.
Yes. Yeah. I feel like me and Lacey have had lunch and stuff because we're only 20 minutes apart. So we're pretty close. So I knew her and like just the community aspect. Like I loved that about the program was that stylists from all over were like joining, but we were all dealing with the same problems, but all over the United States, you know?
Yeah, that's what was crazy. And then that's when I was like, wow, this is so powerful.
Yep.
I did exactly like what Lacey told me to do. I followed the steps and I was like all in it. And it helped me reach out to one of my employees who now is in charge of the education program. Lacey's program, I can't follow. It's just not the way our salon runs right now. However, she gave me so much good advice and it just got the ball rolling for us. So
yes, the online portal and everything is crazy. And I feel like between her program and the Harper Ellis program, I was able to grow my team from what it was to completely making an assistant and commission program within the business. And now I'm trying to pull the commission team out, have a salon that's commission, and then have a salon that's booth rent. So
yes, I am so jealous to hear that you not only own one salon, but two salons, right?
yes,
You own the building too?
we don't. But I heard that your podcast was that you had wanted to purchase a building or you did, and that's our goal too. We want either like a strip center or buy or renovate. And so that's our goal in the next 3 to 5 years is to be able to rent from ourselves plus like collecting other rent, just multiple streams of income.
Yes. So we joke because we've been in the same little strip area for about 12 years. And we are the only one that's been there. We have a restaurant beside us and it's been the same thing a couple times. They tried it twice. There's just been so many different things. The thing next to us is a vape shop. And then the other one is,
we just got a vape shop next to one of my salons.
oh my God, it's crazy. There's people in and out. And then to us, we had a pawn shop. Okay.
Oh, no.
We're like in this really high end area. Yeah. So I'm like, you know what? I just need to buy this whole area. That way I can be in charge of, because at this point we weren't able to buy that building. Mm-hmm. So we're still renting, but we've completely renovated the whole entire salon. And I'm like, I love it now. Now I don't want to go anywhere. So now I need to just buy the whole place and then I can decide who I want next to me.
Yes.
Tell me first of all, let's talk about how you got in the industry, all that fun stuff. And then I need to know how you got into 2 salons.
Yeah. So in the beginning, I like coming out of high school, I was like, I'm not sure, exactly what I'm going to do. I had a cheer and dance background, so I actually tried out for the Oklahoma City Thunder and made the team. And they're like, you have to be in school, you have to have a job, you have to be doing something that is like furthering yourself. And so I was like, I'm going to go to hair school. And so I went to Duncan Brothers in Oklahoma City and did that while I was cheering. And then they had hair sponsors. So I was able to work for the Salon that was the sponsor of the Thunder Girls. And so
Oh,
I was just like in that. And I actually worked in like a mall for my first salon. And then I moved to another salon, and that's where I joined a commission program. And she taught me everything. Like she was my mentor. And that first year, really, so I was about 2 years into the industry at that point. And then I decided to move to Colorado, and I cheered for the Denver Broncos. So that also picked me up and moved me. And then I worked for an Aveda salon for 3 years while I was there. I did a lot of training, learned a lot about like luxury hair, taking care of your guests, like all of that. I really still use to this day is a lot of Aveda training. And then I moved back here once I was done cheering and worked in an Aveda salon for a year. And then I was pregnant and I was like, I'm going to switch to booth rent. So I switched to booth rent, and then I started training assistants. And so I trained one. And then before I had opened a salon, I trained 3 other girls. So 4 assistants total by the time of that. And then one of my friends, the girl I worked for, she had 2 locations. And I was like, I'm bored. Would you ever sell me one of your salons? I want to do this so bad. And she was like, yes. And then she said no. She was like, I offered her the money, and then she was like, I'm not ready. And I was like, okay. So
why did she want it? She must see something in this.
yes. And so then I was like bummed. And so I'm like looking around town. I'm like, who else has a salon? I want like at least 15 chairs. So another salon owner said that her space was available. So I was like, okay, like this is it. This is the door I'm going through. So we commit. We're like, okay, we're buying the salon. And then the other salon owner came back and was like, we do want to sell you the salon. So then I have 2 salons that I'm like about to purchase. And me and my husband were like, let's just do it. There's a reason that these both fell in our lap. They were both booth rental salons. So I was like, okay, like they can operate, I can switch back and forth. So within 4 months, I had purchased both locations. And I did that for about a year, booth rental. And then that's when I started considering commission, because I was like, no booth renters are applying. Like I need to bring on girls that I can train up, build their clientele, do commission, and then eventually they can switch to booth rent. But now my dream is to build a commission structure to where they can grow and build and keep on
Absolutely. Yes.
growing up this tiered thing where they can eventually become partners and profit share and all that. So I feel like that's the new growth model I'm working towards. But so yeah, that's
Too.
that's
Me
my story.
too. We'll have to work outside of this because that's where I'm going with it. Because I'm sure you have heard too, the suites are on the outs and it's the commission. People are wanting commission again. And not only
They
do
want the
they want,
education.
they want
Yes.
a nice program. They're going to get trained and stuff. So when you were booth renting, you trained 3 assistants yourself, right?
Yes, I brought on one and had her about 2 days a week, and then I trained 4 total before I had opened a salon.
Okay. So now you have your 2 locations. Are they both commissioned, did you say? Or you have hybrid?
I did have them both like hybrid for a little bit, and then I was like, this is wearing me out. No,
Yeah.
so I have all the commission girls in one spot now, which is helpful. So if I'm at the other one, my assistant will come with me, but all the commission girls have booths at one location, which
How
is
close are they?
they're about 8 to 10 minutes apart, like 5 without any traffic.
The same town.
Yes, yeah, both in Owasso.
And are you still in Nevada Salon?
No, after I had left Colorado, I worked in a Aveda salon for 1 year here. But once I switched to booth rent, you can't do
Oh,
Aveda.
that's right.
But now I use Goldwell and shades for my color lines.
So would you say you're the majority of your, because I think I heard on your podcast when you talked about the assistants, do you do mostly extensions?
Color
You
extensions. Yes. And then I
Yes.
just started doing toppers too.
Really?
Yes, I love it. I have 2 topper clients that have permanent toppers that I like bead and stitch on. And then I have probably 4 clip-in toppers. So they just come in, bring their topper, and they can take it on and off every day.
Oh my gosh. How does the topper work, the permanent one? Like, just give me like a quick rundown.
So I've learned two methods. The Harper Ellis method, you put the topper on and then you pull the hair through with a crochet hook and use beads. So there's little bead integrated throughout. And then I also learned the ring method. So it's like the waterfall method on the top. And then you place like a ring down and then you stitch all of that onto the top. So I've done both methods and I think it just depends what their hair loss journey is. If they're in
Right.
active hair loss, you can't just sew a topper on there. Now, a clip-in would be a better option for them. But yeah, it just depends if they have alopecia, just postpartum thinning. It just depends where they're at in their journey, which topper would be the best option for them.
Oh my gosh. Me and one of my employees, we were just talking about the toppers last week, and I think it would go over pretty good.
Yeah,
So
they're
you
amazing.
you guys use Harper Ellis.
Yes.
Okay. So we're looking for different brands to use. And the two girls that use the extensions, that's on the top of their list.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, their training is amazing. I wouldn't be where I'm at today without their programs. So
I love her podcast because
to the point, which I respect.
absolutely, I do too. Okay. So we have so much to talk about. Okay. So you have your salon. How long have you been in the industry, or how long have you been doing hair?
13 years. And then I've owned my salons for about 3.5.
So before you were booth running, is that right or no?
Yes, I
Yes.
did commission for the first couple years, and then I switched to booth rent and then opened my own.
Was your ultimate goal to go towards commission? Was that what you were hoping?
I don't think I really realized the benefits of opening a commission salon in the beginning because I just purchased 2 booth rent salons and I was just like, okay, we're just gonna go for this. And then now I feel like in the last year, I've really seen the benefits of opening a commission salon. If I were to go back, I would probably start just opening a straight commission salon.
Yeah. I've learned a lot too, because when I went in, I didn't know anything really. Mistakes. And
Yes.
the one thing we learned fast is the salon scale.
Yes.
And
I love SalonScale.
Brad finally got in and he went through all of our numbers. And I knew that this day was coming because I kept telling him, I don't know my numbers. All these podcasts say you have to know your numbers. And he would try to get the rundown, but I would just be like, because I knew him or my mom or whatever. But fast forward, he realized, wow, we are in pretty deep crap. So he went through and I told him about the salon scale and we instantly started saving money and it saved our butt.
Oh, for sure.
It was crazy. You guys use salon scale as well, right?
Yes. So we implemented parts plus labor about a year ago. So we have a base price. So say it's 50 is their base price for an all over color, and then their product charge is $22. So then their new total is 172. So they
Okay.
get
Yes.
the commission based off of the labor price, and then their product goes straight back to the salon. But I feel like it helps cover the costs of your color wipes, your gloves, your foils, your back bar. It helps all around, just even that stuff out.
Oh, absolutely. And Brad loves it. He loves to see, wow. He was like, Sophie's my daughter. He goes, wow, Sophie nailed it on salon scale this week. And I'm like, what do you mean? Is it like, cause see, I don't do hair. So
Oh, you don't? I didn't know that.
no.
Okay.
I have my license, but I've only did nails for
Okay.
the whole time. But I feel like I know, but he told me the amount and I was like, but she does the girls with really long hair and is like mixing so much stuff up. And she basically tells the clients, these young girls, they're not scared. My total's 150 and you're probably looking about $50 for salon scale. And they're like, okay.
Yes. When you are doing extensions, you don't realize how much product you're actually using because you're rooting and toning the extensions as well. And so you think, oh, I'm probably just spending like $25. No, you're spending about $50 on an extension client because of all the other steps that you have to take with their extensions. So if you're not charging for that, you're pretty much just washing color down the drain.
Yes. We don't have a lot of extensions. We have two girls that love doing it, but that's not their only clientele.
Mhm.
That's why we want to get into like Harper Ellis or
Yes.
program. But Sophie, had a friend say, "Hey, can you color these extensions?" And she was telling me about it. And I'm like, you need to run that through SalonScale.
For sure. Anytime you open color, developer, anything, it's a salon scale charge.
Yes. And she said, Mom, I did. And I was like, okay. And then I said, then you have to charge your time. Do that.
Yep. A blowout charge.
Yes. So we just started this in May. Oh my gosh.
I love your haircut, by the way.
Thank you. I had it really long and then Sophie cut it and I really liked it. It was super cute. And then 6 weeks later, I was like, I have to keep up with this cut or I'll let it grow and put it back in ponytail. So she did not give me the same haircut.
How old is your daughter?
She's 19.
Oh, I love that she works for you.
Yes. She really does know a lot for her age. And I like to still be a mom. And so when she starts talking colors, she knows I can't come back and argue with her. But see, I just had a squirrel moment.
I love that.
I'm telling you, menopause. I want to talk about that.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Do you treat both salons the same? I know when you have salon meetings, how do you do that? Do you have one great big Zoom call or?
So for the beginning of the year, we lay out like all of our meetings and education for the whole year. And so we have two like big meetings, team meetings. At the beginning of the year, it's the whole company. So in January, everyone between both salons get together and we do our holiday party together too, which is normally just a few weeks before. So it's everyone's together and we do that meeting, all like positives. We all bring the energy. And then the 6 month like mid-year meeting, we separate the two just to discuss like anything that's going on, any like plans for the holidays, like we do ladies' nights and stuff. So just working through some of that. And then my commission team, I do meet with them every Thursday morning. So from 9:30 to 10 every Thursday, we get together. We are talking about our goals, what we believe we can accomplish, what we're grateful for. So those are just really positive packed meetings that I really feel has made a difference in this year. Just 30 minutes, like getting the team together and being on the same page.
What if some of the girls don't work that day? Or
They all do. All the commission girls do. So it's optional for the renters if they want to come, but I make the commission team schedule. So Thursday is just like the perfect morning for all of us to get together. And then from 10 to 11, they all work on extensions together too. So we all take that time. They don't take clients during this time. And we all work on hand tied extensions.
wow,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah. So an hour and a half definitely makes a huge difference in our energy. Like every morning when the girls walk in, we're like, good morning. Like, how are you? We all know our goals. We all know what we're working towards. And I feel like that just makes such a huge difference for our team.
Yes. Wow. Sorry, girls.
Hey, it's something you can implement next year.
Yeah, I would love that, but we have so many different people. Like how many chairs do you have in each salon?
So at Willow, I have 14 chairs and 3 suites. And then at Salon NB, I have 12 chairs.
Do you double up? Do you have like different shifts?
Oh, I see it. For the team,
Yes.
I have some part-time girls that share chairs, but I really do need to be better at having shifts to where people can work. Because right now, each girl has their own chair. So that is something that I need to work towards is having some different shifts.
Yes. Yeah. That's the same for us. We have 10 chairs and we just have a couple girls that double up and people will drop off a resume and then the girls will be like, there's no chairs. And I want to say, girls, we can have twice as many,
Yeah, and not everyone
our
works.
cha-
Nobody works 7 days a week. If you're working 4, someone else can work those other 3 days. Some people do want to work Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
And there's so many times that there are open chairs in the salon. I can tell you right now. And it's just like, exactly, if I could find somebody to do that, and you might have to be a little bit more organized and make sure that you use your stuff. But we just put stations in and I made sure they all had blow dryers and curling irons. So that stuff is the salon. So really, I set it up so I could be better. However, I feel like with such a large team, you bring one bad person in and it can
Oh.
just,
Yep, you got to cut it out as soon as you
Yeah.
can.
so we're doing really good right now. And just we have a really good team going on. So we're
Do you
just,
advertise for blowouts?
No, we have not got, so we have a head spa
Okay, cool.
and we would love to, like Sophie loves to do that kind of stuff. And we want to promote that. And it just doesn't come this way. Like
Yeah,
it's
we
not a
started
busy.
advertising as a dry bar and extension bar, and that has filled our books so much, especially with the new girls, is we have people coming in for blowouts. We started a happy hour, so Thursdays from 11 to 2, we do half price blowouts for everyone, extension clients included. And I feel like that has just brought in so much traffic because even if they're an extension guest at another salon, they may be coming to us for their blowout. And
Ah,
just having them come in for just that kind of takes them into other services as
oh,
well. But
sure.
that's a great idea, I think, to fill those chairs even when nothing is going on. They start getting so busy during the downtimes with,
And it's not costing you anything.
but yeah, it's definitely a huge thing. And we started offering memberships as well, just like a dry bar.
Right.
And they do memberships where it's 2 blowouts a month or 4 blowouts a month. So we started doing that with packages. And I feel like that has been a blessing to our business for sure.
Do you go through Vagaro?
We did have Figaro. I had it actually for 8 years, and I just switched to Forest in June, and their reporting and everything is so amazing. But I was able to do memberships on Figaro.
Because that's another thing that I want to look into. I just wondered if it was an easy process, the membership part of it.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
With yours, as far as your hiring process, how do you do that?
So we have an online application, and that's step one. So sometimes they'll come in for a shadow day, like through the school, or I'll meet them at a career day or something. So I'll be like, okay, apply online. And then I'll read through that. And then I'll reach out and be like, okay, let's schedule an in person meeting. And we do, it just depends. Sometimes I'll just do the meeting, but sometimes I attach it with a shadow day. So they'll come in for 4 hours. We'll do the interview, just basic questions. And then also I like to dig deep. Like you have to have goals to work here. You have to be
Right.
growth oriented. And if you're not, then I know you're not moving on to the next step. So if they're a yes so far, then they do a technical interview. So they come in, they do a highlight and a haircut on a guest. And I'm not just looking for like the technical aspect. I'm looking, how are you interacting with your guests? How are you interacting with the other stylists? Do you have a good vibe? Are you happy? Are you able to complete the full service from start to finish? Because I've had people walk out after the or like before the blow dries. They're like, I can't go anymore. And I'm like, it's been 5 hours, so I understand, but you have to be able to complete a service if you're going to work here. So after that day, then I give it a couple days and just really make sure. Lacey says if they're not a hell yes, then they're a hell no. And I carry that with me. Like every time I'm like, do they fit my core values? Are they going to be a good fit long term? And sometimes it's good to have a 60-day trial period if you think they're a good fit, but maybe they're not. So I definitely always go through those 3 steps every single time because you want to be around them more than just a 30-minute interview. You want to know how they really are. Are you guys vibing? Like, can you conversate? Can you communicate? So,
How big is your town?
oh gosh, I'll have to chat GPT that. We have a lot. It's growing a lot too. How many people?
Because I was just wondering, like,
Also,
a lot of times in our area, we might know the stylist. That's how small our town is.
says between 40 to 43,000.
40, 40. Okay. Okay. So that's what we are. So do you always go through the hiring app? Are you always hiring, I guess? If
I am, because you never know. Like, I feel like with my assistants, I hire them maybe 2 or 3 months before they even graduate. And maybe they start doing front desk for me. And I want to know before they graduate because I don't want them waiting until the day they graduate and then me not hire them and then have nowhere to go. So I like to get the interview process done while they're in school because I made that mistake in the beginning. I was recruiting them after school and I was like, why are we not having this many people apply? But once I posted that online application, I hit 75 applications yesterday since I've started the commission program. So I've interviewed a lot of people, but I'm looking for the
yes,
stylist, not just any stylist.
exactly.
So
Yes.
I hope that answered your
You
question.
know, that's a really good place to be, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
I
And I
feel
can be
so bad.
selective at
Like,
this point.
yeah, I feel so bad. Like when I see Facebook posts or whatever, and they're saying, I can't find any stylists. And I'm just like, I'm sorry. Like,
Yes.
it would suck, but it's nice knowing you don't have to have one. Okay. So I want to talk about, I don't even know, your the elephant in my other room.
Yeah.
So I'm sure, do you want to just take over and explain to our listeners?
Sure.
You
I don't
started.
know how far you are into the podcast that me and my husband have done. I just posted some more episodes today. But so when we had our second kiddo, everything went wrong that could go wrong. I went in, got Pitocin to be induced, and I started progressing pretty quick. And then his heart rate had dropped. So they're like, okay, you have to get the baby out like right now. So I started pushing. He came out naturally. I want to say that I had an epidural, but he came out vaginally. I don't know
Okay.
if
Yeah.
you want to edit that word out or how
Oh,
you are on your podcast. But so he came out naturally, and then I started losing blood, like a lot of blood. And then they're trying to stitch me up, and they're like, okay, you're not stitching. Like, this is not going well. Like, we're going to take you to the OR. And so they take me down there, and I'm by myself at this point, and they're like, you have to have a hysterectomy. And I was 27 years old. And like, me and my husband wanted to have multiple kids. We talked about 4 to 6 kids. So hearing this, it was just awful. You're bleeding out. So you have to make the decision. Do you want to live? So they go and talk to Logan. He's like, do the hysterectomy, and we'll go from there. So I get put under from the anesthesiologist, and I didn't wake up for 6 more days. So I was in a coma this entire time. And that's why I think my husband being on the podcast is so important, is because I was asleep during this whole time of all these different medical issues happening. So by the end of the day that I had my hysterectomy and had Hawkins that morning, I had coded. My heart had stopped. I was in DIC, so I was bleeding internally. So the
wow.
first hemorrhage, I lost about 2 liters of blood. And then internally, I lost about 5 liters of blood. So I lost my entire blood supply in one day. So yeah, it was a lot. And the next couple days, I had surgeries. My organs were failing. I was in multiple organ failure. And there was a point where they didn't think I was going to make it. They let my family pretty much come tell me bye. They're like, we're taking her into surgery again. She's coding every time that we're going into surgery. This is not good. And yeah, it's hard to think about and to hear like my husband's side of this, of losing a wife or potentially losing a wife the same day that you're having a newborn baby. And we have Lincoln as well. So Lincoln and Hawkins. And so yeah, he was like, I'm going to have a newborn and a 2.5-year-old by myself, pretty much. And so I get through some of the surgeries, and I wake up 6 days later, and this is all over Christmas and during COVID. This is December 2020. And I wake up, and Logan had gotten COVID, so he had to leave the hospital, unfortunately. So my dad was there. I wake up. I have no idea who I am, no idea who these people are in front of me. So I'm like trying to figure things out. They're telling me a brief story of, okay, this is what happened. But I've never been in more pain than I had been in that moment. Like, my body was so swollen, full of fluid, full of blood that they're pumping in
You
me.
had no idea what had just happened to you.
Oh, no. And I do remember looking down and being like, where's the baby? I do know there was a baby, like, at some point.
Right.
Where's the baby at? And so he also had COVID at 7 days old. And he didn't have any symptoms or anything. But I think it just makes our story even way worse, is that we're dealing with COVID during all this time. So anyways, I had been cut like from a hysterectomy. So down at the bottom, I have a hysterectomy scar. But when they had to open me up to find the internal bleeding, they cut me all the way up to my stomach. So yes, all the way up past my belly button, up to my sternum. So when I woke up, my stomach is open, and they had to do all these surgeries to fix everything. So then they're like, okay, we have to staple your stomach at this point. So they start stapling my stomach, and I'm just like, again, level 20 pain, just out of this world. Like, I can't do this. Like, it was just really bad. And so I was in the ICU for a few days, healing from these injuries. I finally am like getting up to walk. Like, I had to relearn how to walk, how to go to the bathroom, like literally everything. And so then they transfer me to a normal room, and then I'm there for 2 weeks. This is over like New Year's Eve, everything. Like, my dad was there this whole time. And because Logan was recovering from COVID. So then at the end of the stay, I started showing some signs of like irritability, agitation, but they weren't really sure what was going on yet. So I got dismissed or released from the hospital, and I go home, I meet Hawkins, and within that day and a half, I just wasn't myself. And after a crazy day and a half, which I dive into on my podcast this next week, is I had postpartum psychosis. So this only happens to like 1 to 2% of women after birth. It can happen anytime within the first year. But I had psychosis, and unfortunately I had to go back to the hospital for 2 weeks dealing with the
With
psychosis part, just getting myself calmed down, back to normal. Like my brain had been through so much that I couldn't.
what put you into it was the trauma?
Yes, yeah, they said the trauma, and like whenever I was coding, sometimes I would be out, like my heart would be stopped for 20 minutes. So I think my body was just had been through so much, and my brain could not handle what my
Yeah.
body had been through, the information that I'd been given about like what had happened to me. I just went in to have a baby, and now I've died 6 times. I'm trying to figure out how to be a mom, how to survive with all of this. And I'm looking at my stomach. I can't walk around looking like this. I look like a shark attack victim. This is not okay. So, yeah. So then another 2 weeks in the hospital. And then I was released. So I was away from my newborn, my family, pretty much an entire month. So I think I finally got released from the hospital the second time, January 19th. So I was pretty much in the hospital from December 21st through January 19th.
And then when did Salon shut down for you guys?
That was in March, like before.
Yeah.
So
March
I found out I was
before.
pregnant like the week that we came back from COVID. So it was like March 2020. So then I got pregnant, and I was pregnant all of
Okay.
2020.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yes.
So then how did your body recover? So I know like you went into therapy and I'm sure, right?
Yes. So they had kind of pointed me in the right direction of this is like the medication doctor you need. This is like the therapist that you need. And it was during COVID. So I had a therapist over the phone. I didn't even get to go into a place yet. And I had postpartum depression, the worst case. And I was just like, I need more help than this. I cannot survive this life living with this depression. And then I did get help for that. And then I had postpartum anxiety, which is like anxiety, but times 10. It's like you're worried, your what ifs are about everything. Like you're worried to take your kids to the store. You're worried that something's going to happen to them like all the time. It's just an extreme case of depression, anxiety at the
You
same
didn't have that with Lincoln?
No,
No.
nothing. Yeah. I had no idea what to do. But after a year and a half, I'd gone and gotten like all my hormones tested, and I was like, I have no energy. I am depleted. Like I had a hysterectomy and I have nothing. So I finally went to a hormone therapy doctor, which I saw that you had just did a podcast on this, right?
Yes.
And so that's when my personality started coming back. That's when like my life finally started to feel normal.
Did you get on
somewhat normal.
HRT?
And I take I think it's like BioT pellets, and I get testosterone, and I just started getting estrogen too. And I feel like that even every time I get something added, I'm like, wow, like this can make such a big difference in everyone's life. It's amazing. Do you get pellets?
No, I don't get the pellets. I just started. I take
Progesterone?
I do the estrogen and the P.
Okay, cool.
No, you don't have to take one because you had hysterectomy, right?
Yeah, so I definitely need the testosterone. But estrogen, I feel like helps with like my feelings a little bit more. Cause I like for a year and a half, I had no feelings. Not happy, not sad, not love, just like blank, just a shell. So I feel like the pellets really help me
Help with
kinda
that.
come back to life from that.
I have a script for the testosterone, but I'm like, we're just going to start off with these two first because
yeah,
I feel like if those two work the way they're supposed to, that maybe the testosterone I'm missing will maybe come back.
Yes. Yeah.
We'll,
Sure.
we'll see.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a lot.
Oh my gosh, it is. So what do they know why that happened to you in the hospital?
The hemorrhage. Like
Yeah.
in the very beginning, no. I think it could have been like I saw my placenta, so I don't think it was like I don't know if that had a ruptured or if it was just like a hemorrhage inside. Like I'm not that's a mystery, honestly, is like why this all started that day.
Because
But
you felt fine all through your pregnancy and
yes, yeah, the last week I was in a lot of pain, like lower back pain, like pelvic pain. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but I was like, I'm not feeling great. Like I just got to get the baby out. You're just uncomfortable and you're just like, I need to have this baby at this point. So I'm not sure if it was something that could have been monitored or prevented, but
then Lincoln, though, she came fine and like
yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, I had an ectopic pregnancy before her. Like right after our wedding, I got pregnant, and that's when the baby ruptures in the tube. So I had
Okay.
already had a laparoscopic surgery from that, like prior to all this. And then once I got that fixed, I was able to get pregnant with her, no problem, 8 weeks later. So that was the only other issue I'd ever had. And then all of that happened. And it's like the craziest story. It's like you can't even make it up.
I I did listen to up till probably you said you posted today.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard a little bit about you and then I loved listening to your husband tell
Yeah.
you could just hear how much he loves you.
Oh,
And you can tell that you guys have a really neat bond because that's how Brad and I are.
he's the best.
I wouldn't be able to do it without Brad as far as
Oh,
the
sure.
line goes and yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about your podcast. So for me, this is hands down the best thing that I've done promoting the salon. I love it, but I'm also 51. My kids are older. I stepped away from doing nails last year, and it's just been so relaxing for me because I love it. So, how did you start off and why and all that fun stuff?
So I've always been trying to figure out how to tell my story, and I've tried to write it down so many times. And you get new details, but I'm not good at describing it on paper. But if I could just say my story, then I can do this. I feel like when I post on social media, I started leaving little breadcrumbs of talking about postpartum, talking about the pregnancy things, and I've gotten a lot of good feedback. So many people deal with this kind of stuff, and nobody talks about it. I just stared at Riverside platform, the podcast platform, for probably 9 months. It was my goal at January 1st to start this podcast. And I just stared at it. And then I was on Lacey's podcast, and she uses Riverside, and she has been so helpful, and her assistant Mel with this. I had an hour Zoom call with Mel, and she just broke it down for me. This is how you get started. And that's why our community is so great. Like none of us are competing against each other. We're all like in this to help each other and love on each other. So she did that with me in July. And I had been on vacation in June, and I just felt like God was pushing this. He's leading me towards this moment in my life of you need to share this with other women. You need to put this out there. And I was like, what better way than a podcast? It's just like talking to you now. It's like we've been best friends forever. It's just
Right. Yes.
to talk and get your story out there. And I'm excited to do what you're doing in the aspect of like you're bringing on other people at this point. I'm excited for my story to be up there and completed so people can listen, but I'm ready to bring on the other women and moms. Like even my clients, there's so many that have experienced blood loss and miscarriage and all these different things. And I'm like, I have so many people right in my network that I can interview.
Yeah.
So that's why I started it.
That's why for like I right now with social media, everybody loves the raw, authentic. And I'm like, sign me up because that's me. If I have to memorize a script or I have to follow something, then I get all lost. And so I'm just like, I'm going to take advantage of what's trending right now. And if it, because that's how like I love my salon and I have such amazing employees. And I try to tell everybody. But when I decided to do the podcast, I was like, what better way than to show people? Because
There.
if I love podcasts, then everybody else has got to love podcasts. It's been so great. And I
Yeah.
so just learned I was going to be like, no, I don't want her. I don't want her to think I'm weird. And I'm like,
No.
Like a big and weird. She just did a podcast too.
No, it was really cool because like when you're first starting, you're like, is this the right move? Like me putting myself out there was scary. Are people going to judge you? Are people going to think because I had psychosis that I'm crazy? Like obviously I'm not, but it puts a thought in their mind maybe. So it's like putting yourself out there is so hard. So when I did that and I got the flood of feedback and even you messaging me being like, girlfriend, like I can't believe this. And it really has been helpful to me to get such a good response like within the first week of all of it posting.
And how therapeutic was it, do you feel?
I feel like even in the last week, me and Logan have gotten closer. It's just like we're listening without talking over each other. Yes, I'm like asking the questions, but I'm truly listening to what happened to him. And he's pushed it back so many times that he doesn't want to talk about it. So it's been really therapeutic and great for our relationship just to listen because I've done the EMDR and the therapy and all of that, but he hasn't done EMDR. So that's where you're truly reprocessing your memories and you focus on a target memory. Any PTSD or trauma victims should definitely do this.
So what does that stand for?
I don't know the exact EMDR.
Okay. So is that kind of a new thing?
I started it probably 3 years ago and I did it for a year. It's intense. It's eye movement, desensitization, and reprocessing.
Oh, so when I started the podcast, I was like, this is going to be because we had brought in the head spa. And I'm like, I'm just going to be doing this to promote the head spa, market that. We brought in, it's called RG Cosmetics, which I love. And so I had all this planned. And after a couple episodes, I was like, okay, that's boring to talk about products every time.
Let's talk about the juicy stuff.
Yes, because that's what people want. No one's going to listen to you talk about the seeds from the Amazon. And it's just taken us so many different ways. I just love it. And so now it's almost anything goes. And this is the first time that I've done Zoom, and it's still not my norm, but it's okay. But now that just gives me the realization that I can reach out to anyone.
You can connect with anyone, anywhere now.
Yes. That's awesome. Okay, where can people find you? Because I know that our time is coming up, and that's probably something that I would forget to do.
So for my podcast, it's Hi, it's me again. And then my Instagram for my personal is the Hendrix fam, and it's HENDRIX. And then my hair Instagram is at the glowing goddess.
And is that then when you go to that, do you then find both of the salons right there?
Yes. And then the salons are Salon in Owasso and then the Willow Salon Owasso.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. I wanted to ask real quick because do you ever get like ideas when you're not really wanting ideas and it's almost go away? But I have this really good idea and I just wonder if you guys do this. Is there color matching in your area? Or like when people say, like, I'm going to go get like a color analysis.
Are you talking about like
your colors done? Yes. Do you have one close to your area?
I think there's one in Tulsa, but I haven't done one yet. Have you?
No. My daughter, she's turning 30 and that's what she's been wanting to do. And she's in Raleigh. And so I'm thinking about going to do it. And then I was like, I started thinking, the closest to us is 3 hours, 4 hours. I have a girl that's amazing at the salon and she loves colors and fashion and all this. And I'm like, we need to get you trained.
Yes. I think because they could have that as part of their consultation. Let's do this before we pick your colors. Are you warm? Are you summer? Are you autumn? I'm just nervous they're going to tell me that I can't wear black. That's why I think I haven't gone. Is they're going to be like, oh, you don't look good in black? And I'm like, I wear that every day. So
Exactly.
you're yeah.
So that's so funny you say that because I don't think I'm blacks in my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. No, there's not a navy that is going to replace black. It doesn't do the same thing. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
That's the one that I listen to when they tell you what they want. But no, I just think that would be such an amazing thing to offer
Yeah.
because it's coming this way. And the Yadi is her name. She was like, aren't we worried about AI? And I said, I don't care. Yes, AI, we can't be scared of it. It can be our best friend, but there's not a day that somebody's going to choose AI over a personal connection when it comes to that kind of stuff.
And like when we're trying the toppers on, you've got all these different colors. So you're just popping on like all these colors and you're like, oh wow, like a root does look good on me. Or oh, like I love this dimension. And you can pick out more of what you want.
Yes, people do want to change hair colors, but then when they do go gray, guess what? You might be in a different season now.
Yes.
And some people are like, oh, I don't really care about that. But some people do. We spend thousands of dollars yearly
Yes.
on anything that if it says it's going to make us feel good, look good,
Oh, for
we're
sure.
going to buy it. So I just wondered if what you thought about that.
I think that would be awesome. I feel like my clients talk about it all the time. It's just like asking like what face shape works best for you. You know, it's like what colors, like warm tones, sun-kissed, cool, icy, like what's in my wheelhouse? What is going to make me look like 100%?
It is such a big difference, like taking when they put the drapes on. This is how little I know. They kept talking about drapes. I had to go to chat and be like,
What is a drape?
draping? And then, so now it's everywhere. But even if it goes a shade lighter, just a little bit lighter, and it might be matte and then instead of shiny or whatever, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'll have to have you on my podcast too.
Yeah, we need to listen to your story. It's so awesome. And it sounds like you've been doing it forever. You have such on the podcast, it's such
Thank you.
and you can feel the emotion behind it. So I love it.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, yeah, we'll definitely stay in touch. So
Yeah, send me some little teasers and I'll post them. I'm excited to see the finished results.
perfect. All right. Thanks, Haley.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.